Hey everyone, Demeech here.
And Ty the Guy 2800.
For talking about the Switch event that happened on the 12th. Now, Ty the Guy 2800 was about to go to the Switch event today, but he wasn't able to make it, so yeah, this is why the podcast is a little late.
Unfortunately, I tried to make it today. Nothing worked out, but I'm sure there will be a Switch in a GameStop near me pretty soon, since it's coming out in March, so stay tuned.
Yeah, so the event happened, we were all super hyped for it, but how did the event turn out? What did you think of it?
I thought the whole thing was really awkward. It didn't help that most of the thing was translated.
Oh god.
It took place in Tokyo. I thought the translators had no emotion at all, but then again, it was live and, I wouldn't say it was scripted. Well, I guess it was. I think the SPLATOOOON was scripted. But yeah, other than that, the whole thing was just so awkward.
It was. There's one thing I really gotta give Iwata credit for. Rest in paradise. I think Iwata was a great speaker and he really brought life into Nintendo presentations. There is nobody like Iwata when it comes to presenting. He was just really great at it. Kimishima, on the other hand, I think Kimishima and Iwata are the complete opposites of each other. Iwata had a great personality and was so much fun to watch present, but he didn't make the best business decisions. Kimishima makes some pretty good business decisions, but isn't that good of a presenter.
I feel like the best presenters was Iwata, rest in peace, and we still have Reggie.
Reggie's really good.
He's always good. Like, when he was saying, "Do you hear that in the background?" Yes. I was just so invigorated. I knew he was talking about Zelda, and I already heard about it a million times before, but the way he presented it, I was like, tell me more. That's what a good presenter does. They make you interested in that. But I don't know. If they had Reggie presented, I think I would have been invested a little bit more, and it wouldn't have been that awkward. But, we're not here to talk about the awkwardness of the presentation. We're here to talk about the details, and boy, did we get a lot of details.
We did. So, I'm going to start off with the price, the launch date, and some of the other things that were announced early on. I think the launch date, nobody was expecting March 3rd. People expected the 17th or March 10th for Mario Day, but I think the 3rd is really soon, and that's a good thing because the sooner the better.
Yeah.
And it's not rushed either because it wouldn't really make a difference whether it was launched the 17th or the 3rd. But the price, on the other hand, it's not too great.
I remember we were talking a few days before when we were talking about the price, and we were both hoping it was going to be $250, and you were like, it has to be $250. If it's over that, then they're crazy. And I was like, sometimes new consoles are high in price, and then they go down.
And it doesn't even come with a game.
Yeah, I actually expected 1-2 Switch to be packaged with it, because, it just seems reasonable.
It does, but it really sucks that there isn't a pack-in game, so there are a ton of hidden costs. Extra Joy-Cons, the game to come with it, so really you'll be paying $350 to $360, so I think it's best to wait for a price drop.
To be fair, I don't really think you need extra Joy-Cons at the moment. It comes packaged with the Joy-Cons.
True.
I really was expecting 1-2 Switch to be packaged with the Switch, but I guess not. I'm pretty sure it's packaged by itself. The two Switch
Bundles?
Bundles, well, not bundles. Yeah, those two Switch bundles they announced was the regular gray and the two neon colored ones, which, no offense, are kind of lame.
I don't like how it's just two different colors. It doesn't look right. And I wish there were more color options, like orange or lime green.
Well, they did announce that they were going to make more colors in the future. I just wish that they had more colors at launch. That would have been really cool. But then again, they're really expensive, and maybe by Christmas we could see some more colored Joy-Cons, or by next year when the prices go down.
Because really, with the Switch, I think it's too expensive now, and I'm probably going to wait for a price drop. The earliest I'll ever get it is May 2017.
I was going to get it first day if a certain game were to come out the same day.
Exactly.
But that didn't happen. You know, we were kind of disappointed, but at the same time, I wasn't that surprised because they always release that game during the holiday season. But I think that Zelda at launch is really good. But I don't think it's enough for me to buy a Switch right now.
You have a Wii U already.
Yeah, but I barely play it anymore, and I really use that for Netflix. I mean, I use it for Donkey Kong Country too, but I don't know. I'm ready to make the switch. See what I did there.
I am too, but what did you think of the games announced? At first there was 1-2-Switch, and I found it a harmless game that showcases the Switch technology, you know, with the HD Rumble feature it has, and I'm really excited to find out how that works. But
yeah, that was an interesting thing, because he was like, we have a new HD Rumble feature, and I was like, HD? And he described it with the glass cup with the ice cubes, and I was like, wow, how is that going to benefit into gameplay? Like, to me, it's almost like, it's obviously like the technology from a Wii remote, but I think it's greatly improved.
I think so too. Also,
Which is, yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that they have motion controls too, and how both of them are different, because it just seems like the all-in-one Nintendo console, but the game itself, it just seems like a harmless minigame compilation, and it should have been bundled with a Switch, not a $50 retail game.
Before they announced the title, I really thought, I was about to text you this too, I really thought that was WarioWare for a second. I was like, oh my god, it's WarioWare for the Switch, I was right. And it says 1-2-Switch, and I was like, huh?
I thought it was a Wild Gunman reboot, or a Duck Hunt reboot, but
yeah.
apparently
At first
not.
I thought it was a Wild Gunman reboot, and then I thought it was WarioWare, and then both of those were thrown out the window.
And there's this other game called ARMS, and you liked it more than I did. I just thought it was pretty pointless. Why couldn't they just bring Punch-Out back?
I thought it was kind of a clever idea. I mean, in a way, I see what you mean by Punch-Out, but by looking at the gameplay of this game, it looks more on the lines of Tekken and Pokken Tournament.
I don't know, I just wasn't too impressed.
I thought, you know, when Yoshiaki Koizumi was introducing the HD Rumble feature and the new Joy-Cons, that I was like, you know, if these really do work, this could make for a really cool motion control game.
It could, but
I really like the art style and the characters.
I don't know, we'll just have to see when it comes out. Then there was Splatoon 2. I'm a much bigger Splatoon fan than you are, because you told me the other day, oh, I barely even picked up Splatoon, but I think it's one of the best Wii U games. And with the sequel, it looks more or less the same like the original, except the online you have to pay for eventually, and I think that's a stupid idea on Nintendo's part, because we've always been used to free online, and I think it's a scam to pay for online. Let's face it, you pay for a $300 console, $60 game. Online should be a right you have in games. It shouldn't be something you have to buy. And Splatoon would be just ruined if you can play it online. The single-player mode is okay, but it's a game you really have to play online. Same can go for Super Mario Maker.
I think that's the problem I have with Splatoon. Don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy about having to pay for online either. I mean, I dread that, and now that every video game company has to do that, that's like more cash out of our pockets. But I'm not that upset about it for two things. One, this might mean better online for Nintendo. I've always complained about the Wii U having really bad online, especially when we were playing Mario Kart 8 or Super Smash Brothers. We couldn't talk during the match. It was, I mean, we didn't have that many features. And if they're doing a paid service, this leads me to believe that they may introduce that into this new online format, just like Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus, but that remains to be seen. And two, what was two?
It's a smartphone app, though.
I'm sorry?
It's a smartphone app, though. You can't really use it on the Switch, so I just see it as kind of pointless.
That's true, but I guess the second benefit is that it's gonna be free until the end of the year, so we got time to play online if you really want to. But, yeah, I really hope that the online is better.
I do too, but I don't know, Splatoon... I really like Splatoon on the Wii U, and I think just having the Splatoon with free online is gonna be the best thing, and I don't care what new features they add, it will just kind of suck you have to pay for online, and I'm not gonna pay for online because I think it's a right we should have in games. If you pay $60 for a game, that's enough, and companies shouldn't scam you like that to make you pay for online.
Yeah, that's true. My opinions on Splatoon 2, I knew I was gonna see Splatoon in some form. When I saw it, I really thought it was an enhanced port of Splatoon on the Wii U, because it really didn't look that different. And the fact that it says Splatoon 2, I was like, wait a minute, this is a sequel? Like, what was different there? And I think that's going to be the main critique for the game, that it's not different enough from the first one. I mean, maybe we'll have new maps and new guns and stuff like that, but I don't know, that doesn't that feel like kind of like a Call of Duty?
All first-person shooters and third-person shooters are like that, but I really have to play Splatoon 2 to make my full decisions on it. But then, after Splatoon 2, guess what was finally announced?
Yes, that's right. We got
Super Mario.
Rainbow Curse right. Super Mario Odyssey. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, when I first saw Super Mario Odyssey, the beginning where it was New York City, I thought it was more Splatoon stuff, but then Mario popped out of the manhole.
Holy cow. Okay, up until that point, the whole presentation was kind of boring. And then, like, he snaps his fingers, and I'm looking at it, and you know where it says crazy caps, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute, is this Mario? And I was looking at the textures, I was like, no, it's New York City. How can it be Mario? And I saw New Donk City, and I was like, is this Donkey Kong? And then Mario jumps out of the manhole in his HD, highly detailed model quality. I'm sorry, it's just, wow. I was so shocked. The entire trailer, I had my mouth open, no homo. But, wow, this... You know, we had conversations before on what we wanted to see for the new 3D Mario. This is exactly what we wanted. And we haven't even played it yet.
Oh, I thought you wanted 3D World 2.
You did!
No, I didn't.
I'm kidding, but you do know that you love that game.
Well, after seeing the trailer for Super Mario Odyssey and then watching the trailer for 3D World after, I'm just wondering, what the hell were those 5 years of generic Mario games like New Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario 3D Land? 3D World was the best out of that genre, but you gotta admit, it did have a lot of New Super Mario Bros. Elements in it.
You gotta admit that the whole time you're watching Odyssey, it has that Super Mario Sunshine vibe. I mean, it obviously plays like 64, but the entire time I was looking at it, I was like, man, this really feels like Super Mario Sunshine.
I always thought it felt more like 64 because there was no FLUDD or Piantas, but
True.
With Super Mario Odyssey, I think it's dedicated, or I think we should make a whole podcast on it instead. So after this one, we're going to talk about Super Mario Odyssey in full detail.
Hold on 1 second.
For Super Mario Odyssey, I think there should be a whole podcast dedicated to going in detail about it because this is such a big game for the Switch, and the view count alone on the YouTube video is way more than 3D World ever got, so this will definitely be a system seller. 6 million views
in 3 days.
I know, that's crazy.
This is going to sell like hotcakes, but I'm going to reserve my excitement for the podcast dedicated to it, so that we could get on with the rest of the presentation.
So there were quite a few third-party developers there, and I really didn't care about a lot of the third-party stuff. It was stuff we already knew. EA would bring FIFA to the Switch, Skyrim would be coming to the Switch, The awkward translators made it really funny, but other than that, it was just basic stuff. There was a sequel to Xenoblade, which is a Nintendo exclusive, and I'm not really too big of a fan of JRPGs, but it looks cool.
The entire time I was just thinking about Mario.
I was too.
The Japanese RPG was not impressing me. I was like, I need to see that again. And I did, like 75 times after that.
Same here.
Man. But like, besides that, there was a really funny moment. It was so awkward where the guy representing EA, he was like, I love Nintendo so much that I named my son Luigi.
That is so funny.
I was like, nobody was laughing. It was so sad.
I think the Splatoon 2 thing was more awkward. Splatoon 2.
Because nobody was laughing. Like, there was no emotion in the audience.
I think they were just investors.
They had to be. Like, none of the... Like, I saw, I saw the reactions at a Nintendo World in New York for the Switch reactions. The total opposite from what we saw at the presentation. Like, everyone was screaming when they saw Super Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. Like, nobody even clapped after the games.
Yeah, I know, it was just a really awkward event, and I think Nintendo should just do the direct format from now on, because there's less awkwardness and it makes more sense.
Either that or just don't have it in Japan. Like, show it to a Western audience.
Yeah, I've noticed the Japanese are a little bit different when it comes to reactions and stuff. You don't get any of the big reactions you'd get at E3 or anything, so that just made it really awkward.
Yeah. I think it's just because they're so used to it. And keep in mind, like, they have games over there that weren't even released over here, so they probably have more of what we want over there.
But yeah, so that was pretty much the presentation, and there was more Breath of the Wild footage, and it was confirmed to be a launch title, but we already knew that.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? There were 3 new playstyles. Well, not new, but they showed off 3 playstyles that you could play in for the Switch.
You can put it on the kickstand and use the Joy-Cons like nunchuck controllers. You can also use it like a tablet 3DS-like thing, and you can also hook it up to the TV.
Yeah.
But are there any mistakes you think Nintendo made with the Switch?
I was looking at an interview today from a Game Informer online, and they said that they played the Switch in New York, and one of the minor complaints that they had was that when you're playing it in handheld mode, that the Joy-Cons don't really feel that comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, that's what... I mean, it's an opinion, but they were like, you know, when it's in handheld mode and you're playing it, it doesn't really feel like you're playing on a handheld controller. Like, it's made for something else completely. But, you know, it's their opinion, and I didn't get to play it, so I might have different opinions. Some other people said that it felt slick and it felt nice. I don't know, but there's 3 play styles, so, you know.
Do whichever one works.
You know.
But other than that, I think the Switch has a bright future ahead of it, even though the launch titles are lacking, but that was with most Nintendo systems. You don't really get that many great launch titles, and also, the price, it's too expensive, but it'll probably drop by Christmas. And overall, I think the Switch has a good future ahead of it, especially with Mario Odyssey coming out in 2017, of Christmas 2017.
I think it's going to be another 3DS situation where it sells pretty well on the launch day, and then like by the end of the year, Mario comes in and just makes it sell like hotcakes. I mean, look at the views on the YouTube channel. I mean, there's no way that game is not going to sell.
I know, it just looks incredible. But other than that, I think that was about it for the Switch presentation, and the next podcast we will be doing... Oh, the Mario Kart 8. I forgot about that because it's just Mario Kart 8 with the battle mode and Inklings, and there are no new courses confirmed by Nintendo, so I really don't care that much.
I was actually really surprised they didn't show it off during the presentation, because after it ended, you were disappointed. You were like, I didn't see any Mario Kart, and then 5 minutes later, you were like, oh, look!
Yeah, I was surprised too, but it looks pretty good, but I don't know, they need to add some new courses and more new content in order for me to buy it, or they better offer a discount to people who own it on the Wii U.
I really like the new, well, not new, the returning power-ups. Like, I never thought they were going to bring the cape further back.
And I never thought they would bring the boo back, but they did, and it looks pretty fun, so if I get a discount on it, I'm buying it.
Oh, that's good. I mean, the battle mode looks better, but I remember you were telling me that there were no new courses.
Yeah.
That really sucks.
It does,
Either
but...
we should, I mean, people who have Mario Kart 8 should get a discount, and they should be able to transfer their data to that one then, because if not, that kind of sucks.
It does, but what can you do? Well, should this end the podcast?
Did we cover everything?
I think so.
And, okay then, I think we did.
Well, anyways, thanks for watching.
Peace.
Splatoon 2!